Hey, Paul.
Hey, guys.
What's happening, man?
Christmas special.
Christmas special, yeah. Popped up last minute. Spurries is on strike.
Yeah.
So into the studio we are.
Yeah, we saw this as an opportunity to get in on the hot topic because I didn't think it was actually going to happen. I thought, it's going to be the usual threaten, and, they would sort something out. But there they are. They're outside their offices in pilots' uniforms and they are picketing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought that it would get settled last night, I must say. But let's go back to it. So yesterday, after protracted wage negotiations, SAA has received a notification from the SAA Pilots Association expressing intent to go on strike tomorrow morning, which is, of course, today. SAA said in a press release that its management was doing everything possible to avoid the strike by its pilots or any disruptions to operations, especially during the December peak season. SAPA's initial demand tabled in May was for a 30% increase in pilot salaries, subsequently reduced to 15.7% plus associated benefits. SAA offered salary increases of 8.46%, backdated to the 1st of April. SAA's final wage offer made to SAPA on September the 24th is significantly higher than the general salary increase in South Africa in 2024. It was benchmarked against international pilot salary adjustments and was in line with what was granted to the rest of SAA staff members in June, said the airline in the statement. Interim CEO John Lamola says while SAA recently reported a modest profit, yes, that's what happens when you report profits.
Yep.
The airline cannot claim to be in a financially robust position. That's not what all the news reports said, how robust they were. Moreover, he adds SAA can no longer expect shareholder contributions or recapitalization from the fiscus. And then there's an ironically here. Ironically, the pilots have chosen to go on strike exactly on the 5th anniversary of the day SAA was placed in business rescue in 2019. SAA cannot return to the lucrative benefits that SAA pilots have historically enjoyed. According to SAPA's current demand for 15.7% wage increase will trigger SAA's decline into bankruptcy, he says. Now, you and I haven't discussed this, and it's quite a difficult one to even see where you land. And I asked you this morning, are the guys on strike? So sort of heading off onto X, they are. The airport is somewhat chaotic there. There's a lot of passengers stranded at the airport. If you go search SAA strike, yep, definitely happening. And Captain Sibusiso Komalo says management has not reached out to them for the resumption of talks, saying that for now the strike remains indefinite. He says that the timing has nothing to do with the festive season. 141 of the 161 SAA pilots have downed their tools today. That was on SABC. So listening to him talk there, a lot of it had to do with the fact they had something like 4 days or 4.5 days that management had actually allocated to SAPA or to the pilots to chat about this whole thing. And that's clearly not enough. And here we are. So there's two sides to this. The one side is, well, what did you think was going to happen? Going back to SAA as a pilot, what do you think was going to happen? And number two, you could argue and say, but hang on, these oaks are well within their right to go and strike and get paid the, what they earn. And I don't know. I don't quite know where I stand. On one hand, I'm not surprised that this is where we are.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm sort of proud that they are there striking today and saying, well, what are you going to do about it? But it's so hard, and don't you think other people think about this as well? It's so hard to even think about SAA in this light. If you knew what SAA was, the version 1 days, to think now that they the salary was basically cut in half. Over the past couple of weeks, you've seen pictures on social media of a very prominent ex-SAA female white captain sitting as a first officer on a flight. There's a lot of this stuff going on. It's not so ayoba at the moment, and they've down tools, and now it's chaos there at the airport, and people can't get flights, and this could inevitably carry on. And you wonder, does SAA? I mean, they either have the money or they don't, and if they can't pull money from the fiscus, then where's this increase going to come from? It could be the demise of 2.0, which is not good. That's not what you want.
No.
So where to now?
Yeah, I know.
So what now?
Yeah, so what now? Like you say, it's a hard one to trying to sort of decide where you land on, because I for one are certainly definitely pro the pilots.
Yeah, we pro the pilots.
You know, of course, because
Get paid.
I think pilots deserve to get paid more as well, 100%. But yeah, you do also have to like sort of put the businessman hat on and say, well, how are they supposed to actually show a profit or turn their financial viability around when they've got to pay exorbitant salaries? But I suppose on the good side of it is, if their pilots get paid more, it pushes the benchmark up for the rest of the airlines in South Africa. So, it makes the overall benchmark for pilot salaries in South Africa higher if they win this, I think.
Who's setting the benchmark at the moment in South Africa?
It's a good question.
If you go back to the old days,
It used to be SAA.
it was SAA.
It was
SAA,
SAA,
and then Comair way below SAA.
Yeah.
You would have guys happily leaving Comair as a long-term captain to go be a P3 at SAA.
Yeah, but that was also because I think the Oaks, wanted to get onto the heavy metal, But yeah, the perks
The perks were good.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
SAA sort of were there, and it kind of, in a way, suited the other airlines. And hang on, we can push for something. But now, I don't know who's setting that benchmark.
Yeah.
And it's a weird one where you land. I'm with the pilots on this one.
Yes.
Fully support the pilots. Go and do what you do, and you must get paid. There's pictures of them here on social media, holding up placards about safety, being tired. Guy Leach talking here, salary increase 15.7 while the airline is offering 8.4. It's all over the place. Airport is chaos there.
Yeah.
No one at the SAPA pilots experienced several difficulties during negotiations, such as slow responses and lack of engagement from management, legal delays, etc. to date. Then so it goes on and on. Timing-wise, it's the beginning of this December festive season. It's going on and on. It's on every a lot of heavies talking here, but
yeah, it's like a lot of it just seems like more of the same shit. There were continuous wage talks all the time at version 1, I suppose.
Except so you had, let's go back a bit, because people forget quickly. So you had a very, very strong South African Airways pilot union at version 1.
Yeah.
And the version 1 SAPA got a very good deal for all the pilots that were told to leave. If after the whole crisis there was a very good deal. I think, what did we get paid at SA Express? $260 or something. I can't remember. It was literally maybe 25 years service, you got $3,000, something stupid. So there were big benefits there to being part of SAPA. SAPA was strong. So now they come out, all the unions around the world come out in support of the South African Airways part. I would rather not see that bullshit. That type of support is this. It's like if you are broke, all right, and you come to me, Bryan, geez, things are bad. I'm on my, I've got nothing. I'll pray for you, Ryan. I'll pray for you, bro. No, don't pray. Just give me the moolah. So this, coming out in support of them is rather pointless and doesn't do anything. But now you obviously still have SAPA, which is obviously far weaker than it used to be. And you've got this continuous excuse I suppose, from South African Airways management that there's no more money coming and we have to make this work. However, it's like you mentioned, in the prevailing, the past 2 weeks, there's been quite a lot of talk about how well they're doing.
Yeah.
And when that happens, and you haven't made time to sit with your pilots and negotiate, pilots are, what did we say in our season finale? Yeah. We said pilots are an integral part of any airline. They're the ones with the skill set that are flying your passengers around. So you've got to look after those pilots. And if you're not, they've now said, well, shut down shop.
They're pissed. I mean, quite rightfully so in that instance. What was that one episode we did years back where there was that joke about Posty that could fly the plane? Posty can't fly this plane. Yeah, so you need to keep them happy. Funny that you mentioned it, that they were holding up banners saying that they're tired. I haven't heard much
It's got
in terms of rumor mill about SAA pilots flying that hard to complain about being tired.
Yeah, I think they're pretty, they got you overworked and undervalued, dead tired. Safety is non-negotiable. Family first. Safety is non-negotiable. That's on Twitter there.
Yeah.
You can check it out.
Shit.
And that's today.
I know that the other airlines pilots are way more tired. They are working harder, I'm sure.
Are they getting paid better?
No. Maybe. I don't know. Are they?
Yeah, the more you get paid, the less tired you get. But I think in this case, look, let's just, if you forget about the political side of it, you forget about what happened back in 2019, 2020, and you just look at it for what it is today. The pilots are striking because they're not getting enough money. And they obviously want something in line with more of an international standard.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. I kind of 100%, or not kind of, 100% agree with it. However, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that we're sitting here because there was no ways that they were going to go back to that those old pay scales. And
didn't take long to get the guys there.
It didn't.
Into the gumboots.
It didn't. And then there's another story. This is South African aviation industry is under pressure with members of parliament calling for an inquiry into high ticket prices. Parliament Portfolio Committee on Trade, Industry and Competition said that the Competition Commission should investigate South African airlines for their exorbitant ticket prices. As reported by News 24, committee chairperson Mzwadile Masina said that local airlines, including FlySafair, Lyft, and Semair, have increased prices to levels that make travel unaffordable for South Africans. The committee noted that some budget airlines have displaced the embattled South African Airways as budget airlines. That said, their costs are seen as exorbitant and unaffordable for South Africans. It goes on and on. Similar inquiries have taken place in the past, blah, blah, blah. Recent analysis from Business Tech showed that local prices in South Africa have skyrocketed over the last 2 years. The analysis took the average round-trip flight between Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban across airlines such as FlySafair, Link, Airlink, and Spuries. The prices for flights were compared in November 2022 and 24 for dates over the December holidays. The largest increase was for flights from Joburg to Cape Town, which increased by 2,098 rands. So that's 43% from an average of 4,830 rand in 2022. To 6,928 in 2024. Meanwhile, flights to Durban rose by nearly 1,000 rand, 943 bucks.
Look, as a consumer, I get it.
This is bullshit.
These tickets are...
The tickets are high because the airlines have a million things to pay for.
It's exactly what I was going to say. As a consumer, it hurts your pocket. But if you look at what the operators are having to fork out for, I mean, AXA and their fucking ridiculous charges for services not rendered, landing fees, navigation fees with ATNS, prices of fuel, all this kind of shit. I think the airlines are getting through on thin margins as it is. So I mean, they can throw their competitions committee at it all they want. I don't think they're going to get it right on this
so
one.
the committee is, let me get this right. So the committee is obviously there because all the airlines are doing the same thing.
Yeah,
Is that
they
right?
all have to pay the
They
same.
all have to pay the same. And in fact, if I don't actually want to comment on this too much because I need to check it a bit more, but it's actually some of the airlines their prices are so low that airlines like a SAA, as an example, have to actually compete with these guys on a very low price. And that actually affects their business drastically, where they actually are not really making money on a certain sector. But because one of the airlines has their prices so low, they have to do it. So I think they're pretty much as low as they can go.
Yeah.
I don't think they're certainly not working together to try up the price so they can all get paid more. That's the total opposite of how I understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, we'll get Shanil on early in the new year from SAA.
Yeah.
Maybe he can chat to us about it a bit. But there's no way. So, and in fact, I do not think the prices are so high. They may be higher than we used to, but they're not. I mean, they hardly. It's not a drastic change. Everything's gone more expensive.
Everything is expensive.
Go to Woolworths and buy some charcoal. It's about 10 times the price what it costs in 2022. Hey?
Just buy it with wood.
Yeah.
No, quite right. Everything is horrendously expensive, like we said before. So it is what it is, man. I still think it. You ain't going to
So
beat the
suck it
price
up
of
and deal with it. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
exactly that. Or drive. Fucking hell. If you want to take chances on these roads
No, the fuel's too expensive.
and the toll gates. Fucking, have you seen toll gates?
Yeah.
My man.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're looking at getting away from all this this type of talk, there's some good news for South African pilots. Wizz Air UK will be visiting Cape Town this month to hold pilot assessment days. We're looking for pilots to be based in London on our brand new fleet of 321 Neos. Let me know if you would like more info. We can work visas for direct entry captains or consider applications from first officers that have access to a UK visa already. We'll also help you convert your ICAO license to UK CAA. Big news.
Yeah.
And there was a comment from a mate of mine. As a matter of interest, British Airways will also sponsor you if you hold a UK CAA ATPL. This would be for direct entry command at BA Euroflyer or City Flyer, possibly with the mainline salary increases early next year. So it's just a comment. So it's not an official thing, but the UK has now become accessible to SAFers. And with all this stuff going on, one wonders, I've had enough, off I go.
Yeah.
The UK is, I lived in the UK for a bit. It's quite an easy place for a South African. It's weird because it's very different to South Africa.
Yeah.
But I found it quite an easy place to just settle in and live there. I mean, the language, the everything. If you enjoy your beer and a bit of sport,
Yeah. No,
not the worst place in the world.
You'll slide in. You have to get used to the weather a bit because the weather's cuck.
Yeah.
But
if you're in a pub, if you're in a warm English pub, no one cares.
No one cares. So that's where you want to be. No, 100%. So it's actually exciting that those opportunities are available. And again, it does make things, I think, harder for the South African airlines to retain the pilots because as the guys get experience, of course they're going to bugger off to opportunities like that. So
there just seems to be more and more opportunities, and this is such a positive thing. But on the other hand, speaking on sort of behalf of the South African industry, it puts you in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out situation.
Yeah.
But I have spoken to a few of my colleagues. It was my birthday the other day, so
happy birthday, by the way.
thanks, Paul. So a lot of guys contacted me and asked how everything's going, and a lot of our sort of mates overseas. Everyone is happy, I must say. Everyone, it's good to hear. If they're working hard, but the guy like Mike, he says, look, they've been very good to me here, working hard, but Oz has been great to him. I know Dylan the same.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of positives for our guys overseas, and I think a lot of these opportunities, particularly like this with Wizz Air, you wonder how much of this is due to the fact that there are some South Africans there already, and those South Africans have set such a good standard and work ethic, and hey, let's get more of these guys in. And like you said, if the pay is, if there's a doubt there and you're not going to get it here, well then off you're going to go. But I think a lot of the thanks is to all the expats that are out there around the world. We saw those guys, a whole whack of guys got command the other day at Fly Dubai.
Yes.
Or South African guys. And, we speak about the guys in Oz a lot, but there's guys in Japan, guys in the UK, plenty of guys in the UAE.
Yeah.
I know that because the pod is doing so well in the UAE. the downloads are just going up and up, but I don't think it's because we're getting any more popular. I think it's just because the Saffers are moving there. So the downloads are going lower here, but up there. So I think a lot of the thanks is to all these guys that are setting such a good standard. And on top of that, you would agree, as a sim instructor, if you get a South African in the sim, it's like having an off day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally like you get a South African, you see a South African license, trained in South Africa, one of the flight schools. Yeah. You just know that you're in for a good sim session. The standard of South African pilots is high.
No, it's very high, and it certainly makes us proud. I mean, we've said it before on the show countless times, but the guys and girls have gone out there and really set the benchmark high, and that's why we're in so demand. I mean, you hear it so often. I was chatting to someone just the other day when they were saying, no, this company is looking for South Africans in particular because they know the pedigree that they're getting, and it's lacquer. It's another reason to be proud of our flag.
License.
Flag. Not so much the passport, but
True. Some more strike action this time. Another part of the world, Allegiant Air pilots considering strike action after 2 years of stalled federally mandated mediation over contract negotiation. So I guess not too bad for the SAA guys. That's obviously there in the States. Delta refuses. How's this one? Delta Airlines declined to transport a 57-year-old Russian stowaway from Paris to New York, despite her being escorted by 6 U.S. Marshals. The woman evaded security at JFK, stowed away on a Delta flight to Paris. After French authorities denied her asylum and immigration clearance, she caused a disturbance on an earlier repatriation attempt. Airlines may need to charter a private plane if a commercial return proves unmanageable. Trump's making waves.
Yes.
This one I thought you'd like. Air France passenger suffered it's not funny actually, but if you picture the whole thing, suffered permanent injuries after his business class seat came loose during an aborted takeoff in December 2022. The Airbus 350 seat had prior repair issues and similar malfunctions occurred. He's suing Air France under Article 17, seeking damages beyond the 172,000 USD compensation cap. So this had a aborted takeoff and the chair shot forward.
Yes.
It's pretty hectic.
That's, you're going to
hurt yourself.
You're going to hurt yourself for sure.
You're going to get a shock as well.
Bloody hell, man. But 172,000 USD.
I could do with 172,000 USD before this.
I could fucking retire on that, bro.
No. You can't even buy Woolies ice for that. You see, they're sort of selling ice. No.
Oh, shit.
Virgin Oz Boeing 737 rolled unexpectedly during a Brisbane-Melbourne flight in September. There's quite a few incidents here, actually, this last couple of weeks. What else is interesting here?
It says there that apparently the captain accidentally activated the rudder trim control instead of the cockpit door switch.
Yes.
Yeah. So pilot.
I can see how that could happen.
Yeah.
So the cockpit door switch behind you there, you go to pull it at the
next minute you're doing aerobatics. Jeez. Oh.
There was a Kevin Hart safety video for Qatar Airways. Have you seen that one? He's one of their new ambassadors.
That's got to be flipping funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good idea. So why did we do a Christmas special today, Paul?
Well, we saw the gap and, we just had to.
We just missed it last week and thought we'd shoot one out today.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep an eye on the Spuri saga. It's the beginning of the holiday season. They are on strike. It is an indefinite strike. And I kind of don't see the pilots buckling on this one. If anyone's going to buckle, it's going to have to be management.
Yeah. We're going to have to fork out the...
And methinks management don't have the say because there's no money in the account.
It's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. Because, I mean, they're still on the hunt for investors. And
please, man. Do you really think they want to invest? They had one. There was an invest. The whole thing fell flat.
but I've heard that they still need one.
Of course they need one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they had one.
Yeah.
That whole deal and, you know.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's an opportunity for that Flam Arc now to climb on the bandwagon. Seen all that shit. It's been on the rumor mill as of late where they say this guy's going to come and revive SA Express.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's been doing the rounds the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So he couldn't get it right in Mozambique, so he's back here now trying to sort this one out.
So, reviving SA Express, what exactly are you reviving?
No, who knows?
There's no planes, there's no loyal staff, there's no building. There is actually some assets. I see that you know those ballast wheels that we used to use. There's a couple of those lying around the airport there. That's about
funny.
it. So what on earth you're reviving? And for such a poor brand in lots of ways, the brand never made any sense. In a day where branding is so important, people confused it with Airlink. They confused it with South African Airways. So the brand had absolutely no value. But then what it does do, that annoys me. You can laugh about it, but what annoys me a lot is you see comments from people that you used to work with that are sort of excited about the fact that, hey, SA Express might be revived. You say, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You
need to come off the pills, man.
You need to come off the pills, but also you need to, these guys need to just wind their necks in a bit, and you do impact people's emotions when you come up with bullshit stories.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pan Am has got more chance of being revived than South African Express.
True story.
Shit. That's funny. Anyway, that was cool.
Enjoyed that, guys.
Yeah,
right, man.
Keep an eye on the strike. I hope it doesn't affect your flying.
Yeah.
That's why I always book Airlink or Safair.
Exactly.
Or Lyft or Semi.
Yeah.
Cool.
Shut pal.
Until next year, everyone.
Yeah, take it easy and have a magic festive season.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Bye for now.